Let's go over these three multiple choice questions about the electron transport chain of cellular respiration. Before we jump into the questions, let's just do a quick review of this process. Remember, this is going to occur along the intermembrane of the mitochondria. We're going to have two molecules that are going to deliver electrons to this electron transport chain. This is NADH and FADH2. They're going to break down and drop off their protons as well. The electrons will be used to force the hydrogen ions into the intermembrane space. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a high concentration of hydrogen ions in this location and a low concentration in the matrix. These hydrogen ions will then move through this enzyme called ATP synthase, making it turn. As it turns, it's going to bind a phosphate group onto ADP, making it ATP. This is where the majority of ATP is going to be produced during cellular respiration. Something else to remember here is the pathway of electrons through the electron transport chain. The final or last electron acceptor that's going to take on these electrons is going to be oxygen. Oxygen is going to bind with the electrons and hydrogen ions to form water. So that's one of our products here is water. It's not only ATP, but it's also these water molecules that are from these three reactants. Here's the easy question. The terminal electron acceptor in mitochondrial respiration is blank. The reason why this question can be a little bit confusing is it uses different vocab like terminal. Usually we say like the end or the last electron acceptor. Mitochondrial. Yeah, we talk about mitochondria, but it's just talking about aerobic respiration since aerobic respiration is going to occur in the mitochondria. So another way of saying this is, what's the last electron acceptor in aerobic respiration? It's oxygen. Oxygen accepts the electrons, binds with hydrogen ions to form water. Here's our medium question. When electrons move through the mitochondrial electron transport chain, which of the following changes occurs? So now we're looking at these five choices saying, hey, which one of these actually occurs during the electron transport chain of cellular respiration? A, the pH inside the matrix rises. Well, that sounds kind of right. We're going to be moving hydrogen ions from the matrix to the intermembrane space. That's going to, again, lower the amount of hydrogen ions, which it makes the pH rise since it's becoming more basic. So I think that's the answer. Let's move on to the other ones just to make sure. ATP synthase pushes protons outward. No, kind of the opposite's going to happen there. C, the electrons gain free energy. No, we're not talking about that. Nope. D, cytochromes attach phosphate groups. No, that's not their job. NAD molecules become oxidized. Oxidized means they're losing, so that's just backwards in itself. That's wrong. This is why A is the right answer. And here's our hard one. Again, you can see there's just a lot of words. The electron transport chain is in the inner mitochondrial membrane. What key advantage does this provide? A, it keeps electron carriers from interacting with the cytoplasm. Well, I mean, it does do that, but it's not like a goal of the electron transport chain. It's not a goal of the inner membrane, so A is out. B, it creates space where protons can build up to drive ATP synthase. That sounds right. The intermembrane space is compartmentalized. There's a small amount of area there to make it easier for those protons to build up in concentration. I think that's the answer. C, it stops ATP from leaving the matrix during phosphorylation. I mean, kind of. That's not a horrible answer. I like B still more. Let's go back to D and E. It keeps oxygen levels low, which is necessary for cellular respiration to be efficient. No, I like the word efficient, but no, that's just not how that term should be used. And then E, it removes the need for NADH and FADH2 oxidation. No, that's not right. Going back to C, it stops ATP from leaving the matrix during phosphorylation. No, it doesn't stop it. It might compartmentalize those molecules, but it's not going to stop it completely. This is why B, right